Today I am going to give y'all my 2022 Formula One Series driver lineup predictions. I'm going to start off with Team Mercedes, then go to Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Haas, and Williams. There's a lot to talk about here, so let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
The 2022 Formula One driver lineup is going to be a lot different than in years past. In years past, we might have seen a couple drivers move here and there, but this year I think it's going to be all over the place. We're going to start off with Mercedes. The Mercedes driver lineup in 2021 resulted in Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton has made it clear recently that he's going to want to remain with this team for years to come. So Lewis Hamilton will be with Mercedes in 2022. But what happens to the Finn of Valtteri Bottas? Valtteri Bottas joined the team back in 2017, and since then he has collected many wins, but not as many as his teammate Lewis Hamilton has. And as of 2021, his performance hasn't been doing that well on track, and I have a feeling they're going to part ways. It's going to be good for both parties. Mercedes needs to move on, and Valtteri Bottas needs to get that all out of his system. He can move on to a good team in Formula One, might not contend for race wins, but will contend for many points in the midfield battle. But I think with him leaving, they will bring in George Russell. And George Russell right now is racing for Williams. He is doing really well, has yet to score a point in the Williams machine, but he did score a point back in Bahrain last year, filling in for Lewis Hamilton. So George Russell goes to Mercedes. The Red Bull driver lineup will remain the same in 2022 as it was in 2021 with driver Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. They're going to do great things, and just a matter of time until Perez consistently wins and contends for points week in and week out, top three. So Red Bull, they're in a really good position. They might go on a run here for many years to come, so keep an eye on that. Now, McLaren. The McLaren driver lineup will remain the same in 2022 as it was in 2021 with driver Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. Lando Norris is a long-term driver, so I wouldn't expect him to leave after the 22 season, but when the 2022 season concludes, maybe we see Daniel Ricciardo hit the road. I don't know. It's a long ways to go until the end of 22, so time will tell, but the McLaren driver lineup will remain the same. Now, Ferrari. The Ferrari driver lineup will remain the same for the 2022 season as it was in 2021. A lot of y'all already expect Charles Leclerc to return, which he will, but the main question is Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, out of nowhere, went to Ferrari back in 2020 and made that shocking announcement. And it kind of slowed down the progress of Mick Schumacher. And instead of him going to Ferrari in 2022, he's going to have to stay with Haas for another year. I just think Carlos Sainz is just going to do really well this year in 21. And I just think it would be done to move up Mick Schumacher in replace of Carlos Sainz if Sainz does really well, which I expect for him to do. So the Ferrari driver lineup will remain the same for the 2022 season. Now I'm going to talk about Aston Martin. The Aston Martin team driver lineup back in 2021 was and consisted of the billionaire owner Lawrence Stroll's son, Lance Stroll, and Sebastian Vettel. And I think it's going to stay the same with both of them drivers. I don't think nothing's bad going on there, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. So Aston Martin will keep their driver lineup for the 2022 season as it was in 21. Now I'm going to talk about Alpine. Alpine, we're going to see a big changeup. In years past for Renault or Alpine, whatever you want to call it, they have had Esteban Ocon. And Esteban Ocon is a really talented driver. But I just think he is not getting the results they're hoping for. And I think they will part ways with him. But a lot of y'all might be expecting, for one, Alpine, the driver, to get the boot or move on. And a lot of people point fingers at Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso, trust me when I say this, he is not going to come to Formula One for 1 year and just leave out of nowhere. He's going to race his full contract, which is 2 years, and he will not leave early. They will keep him because they're keeping him because he's got the experience and he knows what it takes to get the midfield team to the front. So they're going to keep him for a while. So Fernando Alonso will remain in his seat for 2022, but they bring the Frenchman. Pierre Gasly comes over and fills in for Esteban Ocon. But now we're going to go to AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri is now left without Pierre Gasly, but they do have an open seat. And Yuki Tsunoda, driver of the 22 car back in 2021, he did really well. So he's going to become the team's top driver. But who are they going to get that second car? The second car will be filled in by Alex Albon. Alex Albon started in Formula One back in 2019, and he raced for Toro Rosso and got the promotion to Red Bull and raced the whole 20 season, and they parted ways pretty much come full time, and they moved him to a reserve driver, and he just had an off year in Formula One, but he will get a second chance racing for AlphaTauri come 2022. Now we're going to talk about Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo driver lineup for the last couple of years has consisted of Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi. However, I think Kimi Räikkönen will decide to hang it up in Formula One. I'm not saying racing in general. I think Kimi Räikkönen will hang it up and he will head to the States and participate in IndyCar and maybe some NASCAR races. He's done NASCAR in the past, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him do it again. So he's going to leave Formula One for now. He might come back, but I think he's going to leave for now. So that's going to leave an open seat remaining in Alfa Romeo because I think Antonio Giovinazzi will stay with the team and become the team's top driver. But I think they pick up Callum a lot. He's done really well in the past in the lower Formula One series, Formula 2. And I just think he's going to get the promotion, and it would not surprise me to see Schwartzman out there getting that seat. Just a lot of crazy things are going to happen here in the next couple of months regarding contracts. So Alfa Romeo is going to be a team to keep your eye on because possibly both drivers can get the boot. Giovinazzi is really inconsistent, but when he's on, he is on. So I think that's going to be a big factor. But Alfa Romeo keeps Giovinazzi for one more year. Now I'm going to talk about Haas. Haas, as of lately, has been a big controversial topic because of Nikita Mazepin. Not because his on-track performance, but regarding his situation back in Russia. He's had a lot of issues there, a lot of controversy, and there's a chance he might not race in the 2022 season. He will return in 23, but there's a solid chance he will not return in 2022 just because of issues I'm not going to mention. So that's going to leave an open ride for that Haas team because I think Mick Schumacher will return, but I think Nikita Mazepin will be the team's driver starting off, but when I think he has to go, he's going to go, and they're going to need an open driver, and the open driver will be their reserve driver, Pietro Fittipaldi. He competed in the Indianapolis 500 earlier this year for Recware Racing. He's done really good, and last year Fittipaldi raced in the Bahrainian Grand Prix, so keep your eye on him, and he also raced in Abu Dhabi, but Bahrain, that was a spectacular performance by him. So for the Haas equipment. So I think Haas will have a couple of drivers next year line up and replacing Nikita Mazepin if things go south there. So just keep your eye on that. That is a fluid situation. Now I'm going to round out the video by talking about Williams. Williams is a big team for next year because they pretty much decide the fate of the whole silly season, if you will. If George Russell goes to Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas will go to Williams. But if George Russell somehow out of nowhere, which I highly doubt, goes to Alpine, that would make things 10 times interesting. But I think he goes to Mercedes, and Valtteri Bottas will go to Williams, and he will be a teammate to Nicholas Latifi. So there you go. There is the full 2022 Formula One Series driver lineup predictions by me. I'm expecting a few change-ups, and I'm expecting Kimi Räikkönen to go to the States and race in other racing series, and Esteban Ocon to take a one-year leave from Formula One We will see him back eventually, but time will tell. Same for Danny Kvyat. He will come back after missing the 2021 season. He will get a second chance, but there's many years to come, and we'll talk about that another day. So everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe and comment down below what you think about my predictions. I'm curious to know. Peace.